Mel Gibson has always been a titan of filmmaking. I mean, The Passion of the Christ, Braveheart. These films will always live in legendarium. Now, he's come out with a new film called Flight Risk. It's got Mark Wahlberg. He plays kind of like this psycho. If you've seen the trailer, it seems very intriguing. I wanted to take a look at this because honestly, I think that movies like this is kind of the new playbook for Hollywood. It's a perfect example of what new Hollywood is actually looking like. All signs are pointing in this direction, especially for budget size, production style. And it's interesting to see Mel Gibson, even though he's a legacy filmmaker, kind of dive into this world. So the estimated budget for Flight Risk was $26 million. Now, that's a chunk of change. But when we're talking about one of the biggest filmmakers in the industry, it's kind of a small budget. And you also have a couple stars in there. The gross opening weekend is $13 million. So he is roughly halfway to breaking even on the budget. It's a film like this that I think is going to be extremely popular in the world of filmmaking because this is more similar to the style of lower budget, potential high reward. That's what the horror genre has done. That's what the indie market is trying to capitalize. And honestly, that's what all of the streamers like Netflix, Disney Plus, maybe Disney Plus is a little behind on this trend. But then you got Paramount. These studios are trying to create good films that people are going to watch with modest budgets. Now, it's very interesting how they did production. So I want to take a look at this behind the scenes video, and then I'm going to take a look at a podcast interview that Mel Gibson did where he explains his thought process about why he did this film. So let's go ahead and watch some of this behind the scenes video.
I read it and it was fast and kept me guessing. And I thought, I got some laughs out of it. And it was at once terrifying and kind of absurd at the same time. It had kind of a weird mixture of elements that I kind of found kind of charming.
Okay,
3,
check this out.
2, 1, go.
So if you guys haven't seen that before, that is called The Volume. All right, that's new technology that's been around for a handful of years. Mandalorian Season 1 was the first Hollywood production to be filmed on it. And then they've done things like The Batman, Mandalorian Season 2, Ahsoka. There's a bunch of different movies and shows that have been used to be filmed using the volume technology. And basically, it's an LED ceiling and wall that you can use Unreal Engine and cast video, right? Either animated or potentially even real life shot video onto the screens, and it surrounds your scene, and it is basically in camera. It is filming all of the visual effects. So it looks like they're using the volume halfway between the actual background. So like that plane coming in for landing, as you can see here, right? And the movement of the screen is showing the movement. And so the plane's on kind of this lift, but then you also have some of the traditional blue screen and tracking X's that they put on the screen so that they can insert stuff later. So it's kind of like they're using a mix of both, but using the volume technology for both.
2, 1, go.
It's super fascinating to kind of do like a whole film out of a studio space like this, just using this interesting technology.
That's kind of worth it. Woo!
We shot the whole movie in 22 days.
22 days.
I've never done that before. And we literally shoot, 15 pages sometimes in a day, depending. And we just kind of go around with the camera because you can only do so much. There's a couple opportunities where we had multiple cameras, but it was interesting. We got to know each other well quickly.
Especially the setting is inside of this little plane. So it's an intimate setting, 22 days of production for a feature film. That's awesome. And on $26 million, that's what I said. Hollywood is going to do this more and more and more because they have a better return when they keep things low and quick.
Right. Thank God.
Oh, hi, but you can get us up here. It's fine. Madeline really has heart. There's a past there, and she's trying to rectify her mistakes that she made. The previous operation that she was assigned to went very badly wrong, and she lost a witness, in her hands under her care. This assignment for her is really important. She's almost trying to, prove herself again, that she is capable and reliable in the field.
The engine just died. Hassan, the engine.
That's because you're out of fuel. That's a good thing. You're less flammable.
You're kidding?
Besides, you don't need the engine to land. Probably easier without.
Oh, okay.
Keep it steady. We're nearly there.
Anytime you're in an aircraft, it's going to be claustrophobic. And I think, we've played into probably almost everyone's dis-ease, or if I can call it that, or fear of flying, altitude, fear of falling, fear of crashing, all those things. And so we had a very small space. The beauty of it was that it takes place over these Alaskan Alps, which are really stunning and really.
Check that out. Half of the volume on the sides is showing the actual picture, while as the front is showing the blue screen. So they're going to key the blue out and use it in some capacity to match with the side angles.
Spectacular, and at the same time kind of intimidating and scary. So although it isn't a plane, it sort of feels open, and the vistas are spectacular. So it has a big scope.
Look at that. That feels like you're in a plane. If you look at the sides,
I didn't understand it until I saw it.
Ooh.
I thought doing movies would feel like that, and they don't. Most of the time, they feel really fake. Here, like I said, very little acting required. When we're diving, it really felt like we were diving and we were going to die. All
right, so now I want to go to where Mel Gibson speaks a little bit about the process of filming this and some of his thoughts about why he filmed a film like this and didn't go like a lot larger scale, didn't demand more from Hollywood. Take a listen.
What made you say yes?
We're in an era at the moment in filmmaking where it's like people are we're in a different landscape altogether, filmically, than where I grew up.
Yeah.
The streamers are there.
Yeah.
They're starving for content.
Yep.
A lot of what you see is just like, why did they make that? Some of it's good, some of it's not so good.
Yeah.
But there's all different degrees, and it's come down to a point where you have to make it faster and better with less time, less money.
I want to pause that really quickly because I want to show you guys something. This actually just came out today. It's Netflix showcasing what's coming out in 2025. And I want to just show you the very tail end of this video because what he's saying is so true. And this is like a visual picture of it. Okay, so like this whole thing has been like this woman in different settings, right? To showcase all of the familiar Netflix shows and popular, films on Netflix. So you got like Squid Games, Stranger Things, you got The Witcher, you got a whole bunch of different stuff. And then check out the very end of this, okay? The Squid Game stuff. Okay, you're not ready for what's next. Stranger Things, Squid Games, Wednesday, Happy Gilmore, blah, 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 blah. Did you see that? And they just like rushed through everything. That motivates what Mel Gibson is saying so much because he's saying the streamers are there. They're all starving for content. They all want to just keep their subscribers happy so they don't leave. And that means you just have to give them as much stuff as possible to try to prove to them their subscription is valuable. And that was just Netflix, by the way. So it's like there's a bunch of other streamers besides Netflix. So let's keep going with his interview.
How do you hold your own in that landscape of filmmaking? Like, how do you? So I thought I'd just jump in there and try something. It took 22 days to shoot.
Man,
and
it's fascinating.
And see if you could pull something out of it. And I think, as always, that you have to entertain.
Yeah.
You must.
So this is essentially a $26 million, 22-day test. This is a trial run for Mel Gibson. He wanted to see if he could adapt and create something for the ever evolving industry of Hollywood and streaming and all of this. Now, it is in theaters. It does have a theatrical run, but theatrical runs are super short compared to what they used to be with the big cinematic hits of Steven Spielberg back in the day. They used to be in theaters for a year straight. And so now their theatrical runs are super short.
The cardinal sin of making a film that bores someone.
Yeah, because there is a responsibility because, you know, I don't think film is about expression in its purest sense. It's about communication. And it has to be who are the people buying tickets and what are the experience that they need to have to make this worth their while.
Sure.
There's a trust there.
And you got to be an audience member.
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost.
I'm a lifelong audience member.
Me too.
And I think you have to have that. You can't make a film for yourself. You have to make it. If you're going to cook a cake or bake a meal, you're making it for other people.
Yeah, to be enjoyed.
And to share.
Yeah.
And you want them to dig it, and you want to enjoy it yourself if you have a bite. So, you know, it's always, it was a little bit of a challenge. I'd never been put on a spot like that. Like we do it in 22 days and make it fun. For me, it was a real treat. And, you know, when we finished it, it was like, whoa, it's only 85 minutes long.
Oh, it's a fun ride. Like it's
So I think the big takeaway here is that even in the world of evolving Hollywood, just mountains of content every year that all the streamers are demanding. Do it for less money, do it faster. The technology's there, make it happen. These legacy filmmakers are probably really struggling to adapt to that. So it's really inspiring to me to see someone who created a film like Braveheart tackling the new landscape style of filming content and to do it in an effective way. And I think the big takeaway here is that he chose to say and take time to say that the cardinal sin is to not be entertaining. It is you have to entertain. And I think what he was trying to say there is it doesn't matter what parameters are on you, budget size, how fast production needs to take place, the fact that you're only shooting in a plane, in a studio set with this volume technology, you only have $26 million to work with. That's a lot of money, but you know, still in Hollywood systems with unions and everything that could be eaten up really quickly, that you still have to entertain. That cannot be the thing that gets sacrificed. And I think he's saying, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's good. There's a lot of stuff that's not good because of the evolving landscape. And he's like, I want to make something that is true to my filmmaking ability, create something that's good, create something that's entertaining, like the legacy mindset of Hollywood and filmmakers like Mel Gibson was raised in, without compromising that, adapt to the new world of filmmaking. And I haven't seen the film yet. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I hear really good things. It seems to be doing well. I hope it makes its budget back, especially since it was a lower budget. And I just see this. I hear what he has to say. I hear his rationale, and I'm inspired. Let me know in the comments. Do you feel inspired? Do you feel encouraged that even people like Mel Gibson are adapting to the ever-evolving world of filmmaking entertainment? If you're interested in more videos like this, subscribe to the channel and click the like button, and I'll see you next time.